This video is going to show how to output captions to a virtual platform like Zoom. So the first thing we need to do in Eclipse is create some settings. So I'm going to go to settings, and I created Zoom. So if to do that, you would go to save settings and type in Zoom, your file name, and click OK. And now we have my Zoom settings. If you already have settings in, of course you would go to load settings and put it in that way. So we have Zoom and we are good to go. I'm going to go into our real time, and the way you want to output this, you would go to add, and the output format is going to be the keyboard macro. So your keyboard macro, this is pretty versatile. It's used for any kind of anytime that there's a text box that you need to write into, you should use the keyboard macro. So that's why we will be using it today for Zoom. So here's our Zoom meeting, and when you go into a Zoom meeting, typically you're not going to be the host, so you would need to ask the host to assign you to caption. So I would usually just send a message in the chat to the host and say, can you please assign me to caption? If they don't know how to do that, this is what you do. Since I'm shown as the host right now, I can show you that. They should have this button, the closed caption button, and they can click assign participant to type, and you'll see a list of participants here, and you can go ahead and assign that person that way. Since I am the person, I can go ahead and just click I will type, and you'll see this, you'll get this box here. So this box, you write into the bottom half right here where my cursor is, and everything will go up into this top, and you'll see that. You can write directly into the caption box here from Eclipse, or if you are using a different service like Stream Text, then you would click on use a third-party service, and then the API token will be copied, and you can use that token, put it into Stream Text, and output your captions that way. For today's purposes, I'm just going to show you how to do it, not with a third-party service, but I'm just going to write directly into the box. So I need to go ahead and open up a real-time file. I have my speaker table, or my speaker list has already popped up, and I have instructor and student. Instructor is listed as SPE1 and student is listed as SPE2, so that's how I would like it to be. Okay, I'm going to bring my, oops, let's try to find that box again. I have a lot of screens happening here. Okay. I'm going to move the box over here so you can, hopefully this will work then. SPE1, this is a test, PIRC. SPE2, this is another test, PIRC. Okay, so just as our test here, you can see what I said, and then you can also see it going right over here into our captioning box. So I can hit enter, and that will send the text out, and you can, if that's how you'd like to send the text out, you can, or it will also send it out at the end of the line. So this is the view that I see, or that you as the captioner will see. It's in this white box. The consumer will see it across their screen as closed captions typically look, as long as they have turned that feature on. Okay, I'm going to test this a little bit more just to show how the caption box works a little bit more. You always have to make sure that your cursor is clicked into the box also. SPE1. Today we will be talking about the history of pizza PIRC. There are many different types of pizza PIRC. Can anybody name some? Qui. SPE2. Chicago style. SPE2. New York style. SPE3. Altoona style. LAFPAR. SPE1. Those are all correct, PIRC. So that gives you a pretty good idea of how the closed captioning works in Zoom. minus that I used SPE3 because of course I'm making a video where I always tend to have some sort of mistake, but that's okay. Mistakes happen as well, and if you were using the cart window through Eclipse, you could easily go through and adjust that SPE3 and make it a SPE2, which would come out as student. With this service, when you're writing directly in there, once the caption goes out, it is out. So another way that I like to use captioning if I'm doing it through Zoom is I can share a screen with the student. So I would share a screen with the student. So to do that, I need to change my settings, and I'm going to use the cart window again. So I'm going to go to settings, load settings for cart demo. I'm going to open up another real-time file here. And I'm going to change my speakers. So my SPE1, I will put instructor. And my SPE2, I will make student. And I'll just use that moving forward for any student that speaks. Of course, if I knew the instructor's name, I would put his or her name in there as well. All right, I'm going to click OK. And then over here, I would like to share my screen. Actually, whoops, where's my cart window? Oh, I can't see it because it's in the black. Okay, so here we go. So I am going to click Share Screen, and I'm going to click on Cart Window and Share. So that is how you would share your cart window. Let me cancel this. Okay, I've moved my cart windows to my other screen, and I can click maximize. I'm going to change the font so that it will be big enough for my screen. So let's put it at 28. We'll try that, but you can see I have smooth scroll checked. I have always top window also checked. Again, for the font, you can change what you want it to look like. Whether you want it to be bold and what the font size is and what the font looks like. SPE1. Today we will be talking about the history of pizza Pirk. SPE2. I love pizza Pirk. Okay, so obviously I'm making these things up as I go along, so bear with me. But anyway, so you can share your screen with the student that you are working with directly in Zoom, so they can just share your cart window and then they can read directly from your cart window, which I have students who prefer this view rather than captioning into Zoom. So you would need to caption into Zoom, of course, if your class is online, or one student, then you can go ahead and share the cart window, which I think gives a really great view. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move this, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you learned something.